Yeah, look, misunderstanding early, but the response was awesome. Kept playing football. Loved the fact that Pablo and Dayon just quick word with each other and continued. They're organized defensively, so it takes a lot of different ideas to break them down. And then it also takes some set piece stuff. So tonight's a night where we had to pull out a lot of different attacking, a lot of attacking things out of the toolbox. But at the end of the day, we were pleased. A lot of good football, and finished it off with some very, very good goals.
Bob, you routinely talk about with your team that you want them to find their football even in moments when it seems like they can't find breakthrough. Was it the set piece goals that opened it up, or what to you was the moment where they kind of seemed to play into the game and find that?
When you go down against a team that's going to defend deep like that, you have to just keep trying to play from side to side. You try to find ways to play through. We did a really lousy job in the first half. A lot of indecisive crosses, a lot of crosses that went straight to Crapeau, so that part was actually terrible. But then, when you start to force the game a little bit, then that can lead to set pieces and some great deliveries on the in-swingers from Carlos, so that makes a huge difference. And then when the game starts to open up a little bit, then there's more space, and then in that moment, I thought we did some really good things.
Bob?
What's up, Scott? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you
I
doing?
didn't recognize you without your San Francisco hat.
We'll wear it next time.
Okay, thank you.
6 goals. It's the most goals that you guys have scored in any MLS game in the 2 years. We've a 5-goal margin ties the margin, as we received in a release just a few minutes ago. Plus 34 goal difference this year, et cetera on attack. How good are you guys right now? It's 11 goals in 4 days. What is going right? How do you sustain this? How do you approach that, and how do you see it?
We show up every day. We try to find the right ways to challenge guys. We try to have good training sessions. Obviously, I refer to having football ideas, so that's a general phrase, but ideas in terms of how you create space, what kind of moves you make when there's an advantage. But we also have some incredibly talented attacking players, so that part's good. We continue to work on our ability to deal with transition and control games. Look, it's nice to win some games where you score goals and finish up with a good margin, but you also know that as the season goes on, you're going to have more and more tight, tough games. We put Portland in the Open Cup on Wednesday, and it's going to be a real cup tie. So, look, we try to keep getting better. I think everybody appreciates the way we go, like on the inside, the way we go about it, the ways we challenge guys, the kind of football we try to play, the way we try to make guys better. So, we enjoy what we're doing. We're lucky.
As a follow-up, do you think in terms of the historical, where you are historically at all, you yourself?
No,
team?
I have these pictures of what really good teams look like, and I'm excited when I see things in our team that look like good teams, and then I'm pissed when I see things that don't look anything close. So, and that's in training too. We have a good training session, and then we look back on certain things that happen at the end of the day when we see football that has tempo, when we see timing, when we see a way of the ball moving quickly and creating advantages or reactions. We're excited. That's the kind of thing that we keep trying to do as often as possible.
Well, was there anything specifically said during halftime that kind of maybe had the team flip a switch that came out, the second half strong and put on a show? And second part, it's tough to say, but could this perhaps be the best 45 minutes you guys have played this season?
Yeah, it's so hard to compare one game to the next. At halftime, we said pretty much what I told you. Really good response. don't expect that they'll change at the beginning of the half. Actually, they did. They switched to more like a 4-4-2 diamond, which I wasn't expecting right at the beginning of the half. We talked about our movement in the box and some of our crosses and controlling the game. And when Mark scores an excellent goal to start the second half, then you have a little more breathing room, and then from there, guys can enjoy the rest of the game.
I would imagine that there are always little things that you could do a little bit better, but you mentioned the picture in your head of sort of an ideal way of playing. Was that second half at least sort of close to the ideal picture in your head of the way you want your teams to play?
I see moments that are good, but I see moments where the timing is still off, or the reactions are slow, or the footwork's bad. So, look, I think we have a good team. I think we continue to try to keep building ideas into the team and keep trying to improve on things. When you see what happens when the best teams play, when you see the execution when they have advantages, when you see the decision making from start to finish in a game, when you see how quickly the best teams move up as a unit, so that when they lose the ball, they're already in position to suffocate the other team. Like these things, you can never think just because you see a little bit of them that now here we are and we never have to work on it anymore. We never have to mention it. Once you start to take some of those things for granted, and again, you can see top teams around the world that get into the April and are in Champions League and trying to finish the league, and all of a sudden certain things can slip a little bit, and we've talked a lot this year about how impressive it was in the Premier League that Man City and Liverpool just kept cranking out wins. I mean, the ability as the season goes on where everybody appreciates what it takes every game to keep going and know how to win games. So we already screwed that up against Colorado. So we're just trying to get back on a good run, and then as I mentioned earlier, quarterfinal of the Open Cup, and we know what kind of game that's going to be, and we still remember losing in penalties down in Houston in the semifinals last year. So, if you've done well in the first part of the season, then you put yourself in good position, but that's when the games get bigger and more fun, so we're excited for them.